Welcome to the Women in Business radio show with Sian Murphy, connecting women in business around the globe.
Hello and welcome into the Women in Business radio show studio. I'm not going to laugh. I'm going to get us on air without laughing. So welcome back. We actually haven't been, although you may have heard things, if you listen in on some of our FM studios, you may well have heard us out there. But actually, do you know, it hasn't been us, has it? We've been off doing other things.
We have indeed.
We've been running the Women in Business Big Show 2024, and it's quite all consuming for a little bit of time. So we actually had an event on that day. So we were up doing that, but now we're back.
Yes, we are.
My co-host today is
Mikhail Yanni-Attard.
And in the studio we have Amanda Amoir and Kathy Heyman, who are conscious living coaches.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome. Welcome. So I have to say, not only was I involved in the Women in Business Big Show because I have to prance around being in charge. I have to waft. That's my job actually on the days. Waft.
Yeah.
It is. I am the wafter. But also everybody that was in the studio today was sponsoring, exhibiting, speaking, sort of very much involved with it. So it's actually really rather nice to come to the end of it and just stop for a bit.
Yeah.
So, but it was a fun event. It was a fun event.
It was a really good event.
And we are looking forward to next year. And obviously, what I'm not going to do this year is go, hey, I've got a year to plan this.
Yeah.
And then sort of like start to get my finger out around about the end of July.
Nope.
No. Now, this year, there's a lot more information has gone under the bridge, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yes, some of my, well, I don't know, some limitations and some things that need to sort of come into play, which we'll be talking about another time, but not on this show. So, shall I do the how can people listen in?
Yeah, why not?
Which always, I'm going to do this, which always seems a little bit daft, because if you're actually listening in, then you're listening in, aren't you?
Yeah.
But there may be other ways for you to listen in that you may find a little bit more convenient. So you may well be listening to us live on 95.1 and 100.2 FM. It's not going well so far, is it? If you want to catch up with our recorded shows, you can catch us on Audible, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Alexa, Spreaker. I think we're also on Amazon Music.
Yes.
And yes, so and all various apps that you can download, and you can listen to us on your phone or your sort of Alexa, all sorts of speakers all over the house. If you were that way inclined.
Yeah, exactly.
To sound personally not. And you can also join us on Substack at the Women in Business Radio show.substack.com. That's enough of that now.
Yeah.
Right, okay. We haven't really got any announcements, have we?
No.
No, just nothing's apart from this event. That's it, really.
That's it.
Okay, so shall we get on with it? And I'll try and stop babbling. I've had a really sort of babbling week. What we're going to do in this show, it's one of our sort of business roundup shows where we go around the table and we look at what we've been doing, what we've learnt, what we've been using, anything we can recommend, anything we're starting, anything we probably need to stop. Just to sort of, get information out about what we're finding as business women, stuff that's useful. So, where should we start? Should we start with what have you learnt this week?
Yep. When we go to first?
I tell you what we'll do first. I think what we'll do is I like to put people into little pigeonholes. So because I think number one, that's quite offensive, and I like that.
Yeah.
But also.
Thank you. We like that.
But also, actually, seriously, I think it's quite useful when you're hearing about people's experiences and what they use and what they find useful for their business and what they've learned. I think it's quite helpful if you have an idea of what it is those people actually do.
Yeah.
You're listening to me do this. This is actually sort of what I do. Okay, so this is it. I run events. I do this. I work one-to-one with people. You don't have to be a woman. You can be any. I really don't care. I work one-to-one with business people, and I publish stuff and places where people can sort of show off and share what they do with their potential audiences, and that's it really. I provide those platforms. That's what I do. Mikel, what do you do?
I'm an international financial consultant.
You see, that sounds so much more. You see, that sounds so much more impressive, doesn't it? I waft around events and chat to some people. And what do you do? Say it again.
I'm a financial consultant, an advisor, accountant, and guess what? I save international taxation.
It's a proper business.
Proper job.
Yeah. Big grown up. Big girl pants for that one.
I love it. I love working with different people all over the world. It's amazing.
Amanda and Kathy, now I know that you work together, so I'm not going to be responsible for picking any one of you out. You can do that together. You can sort it out amongst yourselves. So I'm just going to say, Amanda and Kathy, what do you do?
We are conscious living coaches. And we have just launched...
See, it's going well. Look. You can see how well they work together.
I'm so scared of talking over her because my brain, like my mouth is really fast, and I'm
done
really
it already.
guilty of talking over people. So I'm going to sit back and let Amanda do this
No.
bit.
I'll tell you this. This is a show where I talk over everybody, so I will win in the talking over people competition. So no, it just she can't reach you. Look, she can't. But all she could do is pat you. She can't she can't give you a real sort of a real wallop. So off you go.
I would never do that anyway. Because we are conscious living coaches,
yes,
and we come from a place of love and kindness.
So. Do you want to slap him? So tell us very quickly. The sorts of things that you do. So, for instance, do you work one-to-one with people, just so that listeners get an idea of perhaps what your day-to-day business looks like?
Okay, so Amanda and I have been individual coaches for a number of years. We came together via the chiropractor's office. That's another story. 4 years ago, about this time, 4 years ago. Really to just support each other as coaches at that time. And then after about a year or so, we decided that actually... the thing that came to both of us is that we would be stronger together. So that's how we created Conscious Living Coaches. We do have individual clients. We do still coach on a one-to-one basis, and we're very happy to, have people come to us for one-to-one coaching. But our primary thing that we've been working on for the last 2 years has been about creating an app that we call Your Coach in Your Pocket.
So you're coming from a place where you are working with people, you're helping them move forward, you're in a coaching role, you're in a one-to-one role, you're in a group role, but you're also been developing using technology and community building. Right, okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right. I think we're all here now, aren't we? I think we know what we're doing. So I'm going to have to start off with you, Mikel, because I've got absolutely no idea what I've done this week. What have you learnt this week? Okay,
so at your wonderful show, I was listening to a workshop by Helen
Vandenberg. She's going to be on the show soon.
Amazing. And it was about getting published. Now, I've always had non-confidence about getting published or saying podcasts, and I was thinking, who's going to listen to me, what I've got to say? And the fact that you can get published, the fact that you can do blogs and podcasts and things like that made me actually open my eyes that there are people doing it out there, and people are making it quite successfully as well from getting published. So that's what I learnt this week, and that to me is a breakthrough.
Because you have something that you thought, did you mention about?
Yeah. I'm just going to do something about picking yourself up and getting on with it kind of thing. Probably could be some sort of title. But yeah, I really would like to get something
You're going
published.
to be getting yourself out there.
I am.
Right. Okay. Kathy, what have you learnt this week?
We have been on a very steep learning curve for the last few weeks. I've learned loads. So if I had to pick one thing, it would be to remind myself that done is better than perfect.
Ooh. We said that a lot over the last 6 weeks.
We have.
We really have.
Our very long list of to-dos that needed to be done before the show last week. And as the days went on, we were, that's got to come off the list, that's got to come off the list. We'll do that like that, it'll be good enough for now. Goes against the grain for me, I have to say. So, but it's all good. It's worked very well.
Done is better than perfect. I like that. Amanda, what have you learnt this week?
I've learned that I have to really listen to my own intuition and how I feel. And I think that that's more... it just has to be the centre of everybody's inner being.
Mm-hmm. Have you got a specific... saying I wouldn't put you on the spot, I'm now putting you on the spot. Have you got... and there may not be a specific thing, but is there one specific thing that sort of pulled you up on that? Or was it just a general...
Yeah, I haven't been very well over the last couple of days, and we had a really important event yesterday that I couldn't make, and Kathy did it on her own, and I was incredibly disappointed. But I reckoned that it was. I've learned that if I push myself to do something and then do it, I'm going to be really suffering for a much longer time than just taking one day out to recover and then move forward. And I'm here today. If I had done that yesterday, I may well not have been here today. So it really is a lesson that we have to learn.
So you listen to your body.
Yeah,
your body was going, don't do this.
But also my mind.
Yeah.
Because my body might be telling me one thing, but my mind might be telling me another thing. And sometimes we think as superwomen, we think we can do it all, and we can't.
No, we can't.
Not always.
This is one of the things I don't like about this sort of hustle culture. I don't like the word anyway. Yeah. To me, having a side hustle is like you're not serious about it. It's just something you diddle around with and don't do properly. But this hustle sort of culture is, you've got to keep going, you've got to keep going. There's, it's 24/7, rah, 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 off you go. And I just don't, it doesn't have to be like that.
No.
It's one of our big things when we came together. We do not want it to be like that. We've both done that in our past, and we're now at a point in our life where it's like, no, not doing that.
Fight.
This has got to work
go
for
for
us.
it, get out there. It does. You go get it. It doesn't matter what you do. Actually, it sort of does, and it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
And based on what Amanda was just saying, the great thing about us working together is that much as it was really disappointing that Amanda wasn't there yesterday, I could still go and do it.
There. Yes.
And Amanda's done that for me before.
Yeah.
The last time we were on the show,
yeah.
my father had just passed away. I couldn't come. Amanda did it.
Yeah.
I remember.
So,
yes.
we can support each other in that respect. So we are definitely stronger together, and it's, that's nice to have that support. And based on what you were saying about the hustle culture as well, is that I've been in business for myself for more years than I really want to say. And in previous lives, it was very much about competition and everybody going out for themselves, and you've got to fight.
Yeah.
What we are now experiencing is a much more gentle, collaborative, let's help each other get where we want to go.
And trust.
We love it. We love it.
And trust that what you need is going to come to you. You don't have to be out there fighting 24/7. So
we've just proved that in spades.
We have. And this is what we teach our clients as well.
Mm-hmm.
And in the community that we've just launched as
just to relax a bit.
Absolutely. Be in flow.
Let stuff go.
Go downstream. Don't go upstream. There's no point.
I like that. I may steal that. Excuse me. What I've learnt, not this week, but actually over the course of the last probably week and a half, but also a little bit further, sort of probably about 6 to 8 weeks, is following on from what Kathy said about, done is better than perfect. I decided 5 days before the Women in Business Big Show to create this magazine. And I know when I told a few people that I was doing it, I needed to check some details and that sort of thing. There was like some raised eyebrows. What do you mean a magazine, like a programme? We can't do that. And I sort of, I thought about it. I thought, what's going to go wrong is that I could get people's details wrong. Mm-hmm. I could, because I didn't have either the budget in there or the wherewithal to get editing or anything like that done. So I thought I could get something done, and I thought I could get it published. And I discussed it with a few people and said, what do you think I should do? Shall I go ahead with this and risk upsetting a few people, or shall I just not do it? Anyway, they said, no, do it. And I did. And I did get some stuff wrong. In fact, I think I got your stuff. I did.
We've forgiven you, Sian.
I did get some stuff wrong, but I also learnt so much because I didn't realise that this little thing that I produced and printed out would actually have an impact. And then I started to see some posts going out with people taking photographs of themselves with it and photos of this magazine.
Yeah.
And to me, it hadn't seemed like a very big deal. And it was really hard work, and it took, I mean, I think everything's going to take 5 minutes, and like, it takes 5 weeks. I don't quite know how I managed to get this done, but it was absolutely the right thing to do. Yeah. And I've learned a lot. And I've been creating these little magazines with the other events that I do. And I, once again, didn't think anything of it until somebody said, oh, it's the 3rd edition. I went, yes. And I went, how do you know? Because I've been collecting them.
Yeah.
And I was like, collecting what? Well, those. Why? And so sometimes it may not seem like a big thing to you, but you need to wait and look at the reaction of other people.
That's true.
And then decide where you're going. Turns out it looks like I'm a publisher.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Nice.
So
love it.
That's what I've learnt. Done is better than perfect. But now, of course, I have to get it right.
Yep.
Yeah, we won't forgive you.
There's
again.
no, but exactly. There's no, you have to now put stuff in. I have to put stuff in place so that now it's done properly.
Yeah.
There's no second chances.
Brilliant.
Top tools. So, what's your top tool for?
Well, going on
this
the
month?
lines of getting published, I had no idea that an AI could write your book. I had no idea until I was in that talk that there's an AI that can write your book for you.
Do we know which one it is?
I have no idea. Sorry.
No, but the other thing is I think we just need to clarify that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I use AI to write stuff. But you do have to know what you're talking about.
Of course.
I think you do. I mean, I know that you can put stuff in there and you can go, write a book about this with the plot and here with the chapter headings and all of this sort of thing. And that's lovely jubbly, and you can do that. But
exactly.
if this is going to be supporting your business, you actually sort of have to know what to put in and what to take out and what to say and what to do.
Absolutely.
You know, it's helping you with the
To
work.
my knowledge, AI can't read minds yet.
Yes.
No, not yet. No,
yes.
it can't,
Data, haven't you?
Yeah,
that's it. You have to put in the data.
You could get it to write a book, but I don't think you could get it to write the right book for you.
Exactly. But it's good that there's a useful tool there, especially if you're dyslexic. Like myself.
And you know, and I use it to create lessons and things on some of the courses that we run. But once again, I have to know what to put in, and we have to teach the course as well. So you can't just let it go.
Oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't
running rampant and get it in your own voice.
Would write a draft of what you want to put in, and then ask it to write, I don't know, 5,000 words or something like that with more information, I suppose.
People are terrified of AI, and it doesn't bother me.
Oh, God, embrace it.
Yeah, nobody can replace me. Nobody can. They can't replace my creativity or my actual voice.
Yeah, but if you look at it, we've been using AI since Commodore 64. It's a computer.
Yeah,
That's all
absolutely.
it is, artificial intelligence.
I see it a bit like a calculator.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I don't have to sit there
Scientific
and do
calculator.
long division. Why would I want to do that?
No, exactly.
I know how to anymore.
We've had it around us years.
So
True.
embrace AI to help you with your writing. Brilliant.
Yes.
Kathy, have you got a tool?
So Amanda and I have had to embrace a number of tools in the last few weeks, but I would say, I won't go into the backstory now, but you know we were creating an app that we were developing ourselves, and that didn't happen. That's another story. However, something was brought to our attention 7 weeks ago, which was a platform that we can create it on that already exists. We can take the content that we've got. It meant us looking at things from different perspectives, which is what we teach people, you know.
Yeah.
Got to be willing to look at things differently. It hasn't got to be this way. And as a result, we're now using a platform called School, which is a community platform that enables us to not only get our content out there, but there's a chat facility in there. So it's kind of like a Facebook chat thing.
Yeah.
which we would not have had we gone with the original app. So we've now got something that is actually better than it would have been. Mm-hmm. So although it's been a very painful journey, we've now got something, and we literally created that in 6 weeks. Which we never thought we would do.
I love School. It's SKOOL.
Yeah. Highly recommend it. It's
never heard of it.
It's been
before.
good.
Not from when.
And that's the thing, you don't know what you don't know. So we were in a place of going, oh my God, we can't do what we were going to do.
Yeah,
it's really quite difficult, isn't it? Because you sit there sometimes and you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what is possible. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the things that I've learned is to start at what, especially certainly with communities, is to start at what you want. You know, what do you want people to do, and forget about what tool you're going to use, because you may use no tool at all apart from a classroom and some people and phones, whatever. But just to start at what you want and how you see it happening, and what information you want people to get and how they're going to get it, and what you want the outcomes for them, and then talk to people and go, "This, do you know anything? How can I do that?" Because we do. You're right. We get very sort of blinkered into this is what I have to do. I have to buy this. I have this created to achieve what I want, and sometimes it's already there. Yeah. But you may have to swivel,
and that's what we did.
And, so it could be that you don't send a lesson out as a as a PDF, or you don't send it out as this, or you don't do videos, or you just have to switch and think about, okay, is there another way of doing it?
And in this case, it was about, instead of having an app that people bought from the Play Store, we just send them to the community and school, and it's all in there. Yeah. So it wasn't even that hard, was it, to pivot?
That's good.
No, it was actually very enlightening in a way, because it gave us an opportunity to look at things from a different perspective, and then get excited again, because we were so disappointed with what had happened that we were really excited to use it. And I'm probably a bit like you, Sian, is that I go for everything, and then I'm like, Kathy, what about this and this and this? And Kathy will go, let's just take one step at a time, shall we? And go from there. And that's why we work so well.
I'm very annoying people. Really, just give them a slap. So, Amanda, what's your top tool? Do you have one that's different to School?
Well, I suppose I'd not used Vimeo before, and we had to find a way to, because we used StreamYard to record our lessons, and then how did we put them onto School? Well, it was either Vimeo or something else, so I had to have a quick look at it and intuitively start doing it, basically, and it's been really easy and really good. So, yeah. It was just getting our heads around bits and pieces.
And I'm so glad Amanda wanted to do that, because I really didn't.
Yeah, and the same with Canva. I mean, I use Canva a lot for a lot of our images, and whatever we put out on that is, I love it. So, yeah, Canva and Vimeo.
Canva, Vimeo.
And StreamYard.
StreamYard, yeah.
My top tool is actually a disc-bound planner, and I'm using a Happy Planner with Frixian pens, which I've been using for quite some time now.
Sounds like a different language.
I was going to say, what did you just say, Sian?
So a disc. So this is all nothing online. So these are tools that are not online. A disc-bound planner is a planner that is a book, I suppose, where you can very easily take pages in and out. And they're bound on discs where you have something called a mushroom hole punch. Now, I'm not going to be able to explain all of this right now. I can give you guys a little demo, because I have my planners with me. But basically, if you have a look, if you go onto Amazon, if you go and have a look at a thing called a Happy Planner, that is one version of a disc-bound planner. There are lots of other brands around. So basically, this is what I'm talking about here are offline paper and pen planning tools for people who need to have stuff exactly as they want it. There is no compromise on where your annual planner goes, how you look at your weeks, how you look at your days, what order they go in, how you organise your projects. If there is no compromise for you, there is no compromise for me. I cannot work with somebody else's idea of how I need to plan my business and my life. It has to be mine only. Then this is the way that you can do it.
Brilliant.
Frixion pens are... See, I can do a demo here, but we're on the radio. So basically, you can... They're like biros, I suppose, but you can rub them out. And they are... And I'm doing it here. I am actually doing the demo. But they rub out really, really well. So if you're one of these people who can't bear crossings out, then these are for you. They come in all sorts of colours. They're not the cheapest pens in the world, but I'll tell you what, you can buy them in Tesco's. They're very affordable, and they're a game changer if you are forever moving things around, changing your mind, don't like a mess, and have to work on pen and paper.
Nice.
That's cool. Right. Like that.
Where are we now? Oh, top challenge this week. What's been your top challenge?
Working with family.
Oh, yeah, no.
No, I absolutely... My daughter, you've met my daughter, and she's great. She is. She's my assistant. But it's...
There's a but, isn't there? Change your but to an and.
And it's just because I'm mum outside the office and I'm boss inside the office. Yeah. And she does push the boundaries a little bit. But we're working well together. We are working well together, but I do find it challenging, especially when you're in a family business. Yeah. And I think if there are other people out there that own family business, they'll probably know this, but it's just putting the boundaries into place and saying, hey, look, here I'm boss, there I'm mum.
Yeah, I tried that and it didn't work.
Okay.
It didn't work. So my son is in business as well, and I found it very difficult to not be mum.
Mm. Well, she calls me Mikkel. She will always call me by my first name, and then outside she forgets.
I'm just mum, and that's it.
Oh, right,
and
okay.
I couldn't stop being mum. And of course, mums let you get away with stuff, and mums also tell you off.
Exactly.
But this doesn't work, does it? You can't. Whether it's a business relationship, whether it's a partnership, there's never a letting you get away with it and telling you off.
Yeah, but
I found it difficult to work with somebody whose nappy I've changed. It's not.
But it does have its perks because she has the same aspirations that I do, and she's known all her life that I've been an entrepreneur. So she's like, I understand your business probably better than the other people that are in the firm. So she's talented in that way. And she was giving me advice yesterday when we were having coffee. So it's not all bad, but it is challenging.
Yes, it is. Kathy, what's been your top challenge this week?
Top challenge this week is a to-do list that I find a bit scary. There's too much on it, and just because of life, we have to keep moving things, and I'm aware of deadlines, and we use Basecamp, another plug for another tool that Amanda and I use to keep track of everything that we do. Without it, I don't know where we'd be. But that's the thing that I find a little bit challenging, is a to-do list that's getting too long.
Yeah. Would you like some information about that?
Please,
which you probably already know. But our brains can only process between 3 and 5. 5 plus or minus 2 bits of information. So if you take off the top 3 things and put them on a separate piece of paper, you will find it easier.
Yeah, so what we do in Basecamp is we look at it and we go, right, what are the things we have to do today? Everything else gets moved on. So we do manage it, but it's just that I know what's coming. I can still see what's coming, and that's the thing. That,
but I think that's what I'm saying, is that you actually you write it. It's when you look at it, your brain can look at 5 plus or minus 2.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at a list, of 10 things to do, your brain's going, oh my god, look at this. If you take off 3 of those things and just put them on a separate piece of paper, or take a screenshot or whatever, if you've got more information on there, it's difficult, isn't it? If there's more information in your to-do thing, but just the only things that you can see are those top 3.
Yeah.
Your brain will actually calm down a little bit.
And what's happened this week is that I have done that, so I've kind of gone, right, okay, what what moves to next week, so I'm not even looking at it. What doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter to this week. Move it to then.
So you're only looking.
So
you're looking.
I'm only looking at what I've got to do. So,
the
things that have to be
3 things.
Yeah.
And then when you've done one, you can bring another one
pick
up.
Another one up. Yeah.
And your brain just sort of goes.
And the funny thing about it is that sometimes it doesn't bother me at all. But this week it really did. And then I took a deep breath and went, oh, stop it. It's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's odd, isn't it? How sometimes we're okay and then other times it just sort of whoomph.
Yeah.
And it's too much.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't know how much you're into planets, but Mercury's been retrograde for a couple of weeks, and it messes with our heads.
That's it.
Yes, I'm not really, but it's not that I'm not. It's just that I accept it when people say it, but I don't see it sort of proactively. I don't go and have a look.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that go, I'm not going to blame everything on Mercury retrograde, but yeah, there's a lot of energy around at the moment that's a bit weird. So.
One of the other things that I found, and this was a bit of a game changer as far as the to-do list goes, so I'll mention it now, is that making sure that you're actually looking at tasks and not projects. So if something on your to-do list actually has more than one step in it, it's a project, it's not a task. And so when you look at it, you look at it and your brain goes, can't do that, and starts spinning.
Is really good for that, because you have your projects in, and then we're really good at putting individual tasks in that relate to that project and when they need to be done and whatever. So Basecamp's a really good organiser for us.
I can't work like that. I have to have stuff offline. I can't work online with stuff. Trust me, I've tried to. I have been through every single tool. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I wish I could. Because Amanda
and I are miles and miles apart, we have to do it online.
Yeah.
Because we've both got to be able to see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's been your top challenge this week? Just say working with Kathy, only with her 3. Yes, my top challenge. Kathy can only cope with that. What's been your top challenge? You've not been trying very well, have you?
No. So I think probably the challenge is actually facing the fact that I'm not Superwoman, and I'm not. It's okay not to be expecting yourself to do more than you think. Mm-hmm. It's okay to just be in a space, and I've faced it a lot. But it doesn't, no matter how many times that we say we're experts in this and we tell this is how we guide people along and this is what we teach and this is what we live, it is constantly reevaluating and looking at, okay, so this is another situation I'm in, what do I do now?
Absolutely.
This is another fine mess you've got me into. What was that?
That was Laurel and Hardy.
I feel like that sometimes.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like I'm stuck in a Laurel and Hardy film. Yes. So, my top challenge this week is actually very similar to yours. It's been stopping.
Ooh.
I had the Women in Business big show last week. There was lots of stuff came out of that, and I was really excited about moving forwards and all of that sort of thing. And there's one part of my brain and my body that's been going, come on, off we go. We're going to take off. This is fantastic. Let's get this done. And another bit of my body's going, just shut your eyes. We're not going to let your eyes are not going to open. And you're not going to be able to think straight, and you're going to be absolutely shattered physically. You're just going to have to sit here and watch crap on the telly.
Yeah.
And I've been sort of struggling with that, actually.
Yes, I think I did text you on Monday and you said, I'm supposed to be having a day off.
Well, as it happens, sort of probably, I think it was sort of Tuesday night, I couldn't move. It was like my brain and my body went, that's it.
Yeah.
And I just had to lie there. And this morning, I'm actually sort of feeling a lot better. I'm sort of up and the mouth's going a little bit too much. I might be sounding a little bit insane, but never mind. And I'm sort of starting to get back, but it's actually been stopping.
It's so important. You really don't listen to that intuitive side of us that says, stop.
I tell you what, though. So sometimes I think there's a difference between not being able to stop because you feel like you've got too much to do, that you can't, that you have to keep going, or that you're fearful that stuff needs to happen, you haven't got enough money coming in, or this hasn't been done and you're letting somebody down. I think there's a difference between not being able to stop and just sort of regroup and understand that actually when you get going again, you're going to go further than you would have done anyway, and you're going to catch up. You just need to rest.
Yeah.
And what I experienced, which was actually quite different, which was just really an excitement of wanting to get up and just get moving and get stuff done. It was excitement. I actually really got a lot of really sort of stuff that I'm looking forward to, and I wanted to get that going. And that was actually more challenging.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That was more challenging than having stuff that I have to do, but need a break.
Yeah. Well, I'm lucky that I have a partner who, if I'm still working at 7 o'clock in the evening, he'll say, stop.
Yeah.
Because we get into something that we love doing, and I could go forever, just keep doing what I'm doing and keep doing what I'm doing. But we have to put boundaries to ourselves. You talk about boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need to put our own boundaries around our own beings.
It's difficult when something's exciting.
Yeah,
it's 10 times harder when it's a bit like, I don't know, it's a bit like sort of as a child when you're going to like Disneyland or something, where you want to get round and you want to see everything, but there's somebody going, no, love, let's just go and sit down. We're going to stay in the car park. We're just going to sit down in the car park for a couple of hours and just rest and relax. And you can hear the music, and you can see all the animals, and you can see the, like the Magic Mountain, and you can see all the rides going round, but your mum's going, no, love, we're just going to sit here for a bit. It's really difficult to do.
Absolutely.
So that has been my challenge. It's actually been stopping when there's stuff I really, really want to do. Not stuff I have to do, but I really want to do. So, what are you reading or listening to at the moment?
Well, actually, we're talking about downtime. I'm actually watching a comedy series on, I think it's on Prime. It's called Hacks. And it's got Jean Smart and Hannah. Yeah. It's called Hacks.
Hacks. As in like hacking into...
Yeah, but it's not. It's about a comedy. So Jean plays a comedian, and Hannah actually is a writer, and they get into all sorts of... But it's really cool. I just wanted time to breathe after last week. I just needed space, and I went, right, what am I going to watch? So I went... Alexa, what comedy series is there I can watch? And Hacks came up as one of the top ones, and it's hilarious.
I've never even heard of it.
It's hilarious.
I've got Amazon Prime, so
it's hilarious. It's called Hacks, and I'm on season 2 already. And I thought, do you know what? And you've got to laugh. Yeah. I think we take for granted that when we don't laugh, we need to laugh. Absolutely. We need to laugh more because it puts more heart in your soul and stuff like that. And we get so complacent in things that
Right, Hacks, Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Brilliant. What are you listening to or reading or watching at the moment?
So I go through phases. Sometimes I read self-development books or things that inspire me, and other times I read absolute trash just to switch off. Although actually what I'm reading at the moment, any of you familiar with Cormoran Strike?
Yes. Yes, I am. So that's Robert Galbraith, isn't it? Who is the...
Actually, J.K. Rowling.
Yes.
She's written this series. I'm on book 7. I've read them all.
Wow.
And
I've seen some of them are turned into TV programmes, aren't they?
There's a Netflix series.
Yes.
The first 2 or maybe 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brilliant. You can imagine it's J.K. Rowling, so they're really good. And I've been absorbed in book 7, which has been... So they're private detectives, and one of them goes undercover in this cult, and it's a little bit like you just wanted to get out. But it's gripped me. So last Sunday, I made the decision to take a day and do nothing. I laid in my garden under my umbrella, and I read all day long.
That's amazing.
Which I don't do very often, but it was really nice, and I'm gripped. And I literally last night fell asleep. You know when you do that thing every night where you're just reading the same sentence over and over?
Yeah.
And I've only got the epilogue to go. I'm going to finish it tonight.
So are you reading it on a Kindle?
Oh, yes. I only read on Kindle.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
a really fast reader.
Right.
I can read a whole book in a day.
Yeah.
So I have to do Kindle. Otherwise, I'd have to have a house just for my books. So
Do you have Kindle on your phone, or do you have a proper
I have
Kindle?
a Kindle.
You have a proper Kindle.
Yeah, I read under the duvet, so I don't disturb my other half.
Okay. And will this be on audio too?
Oh, I do listen to audiobooks, but I don't want to listen to novels. I listen to, inspirational stuff. So I don't know if any of you have come across Matthew McConaughey, the actor.
Yes.
He's got a book out that's
okay.
really good, actually, from an inspirational perspective, and it's the story of his life, and it's funny, and I like listening to those kind of books.
Brilliant.
So I do. That's when I'm pottering about in the mornings, emptying the dishwasher and all of that. I listen to those kind of things.
So Cormoran and Strike. I like those. Yes.
Definitely worth the read.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amanda, what are you listening to, watching,
So
reading?
I'm reading Matt Haig. It's the library one. I can't remember the name.
the Midnight Library.
Midnight Library.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's really quite profound. 'Cause it's the first bit is about that she's not a happy lady, and she's considering suicide. And she goes to the other side, but it's not the other side, it's the Midnight Library. And there is a book of regrets. And this book is a really heavy book of regrets, and she gets to look at the regrets, and there's this whole list of regrets. And while I was reading it, I said to my partner, because I don't believe in regrets, I don't think that I think that's the same as guilt.
Yeah.
It's like if we have one of our principles is no guilt.
We make it up.
We do.
It's not real.
It's not real.
We
Absolutely.
bring it up out of our heads, yes.
And this book was really heavy, and she had all of these regrets. But as she went through different lives, I call it quantum jumping. I think they were calling it quantum wave sequence something.
Okay.
And she goes into different lives, and the different lives that she has, she sees some of these regrets in a different perspective. So her cat died in her life, but she went to another life and the cat still died. But before the cat died, she thought she was a bad cat owner, and that was a regret. But now she recognised that actually the cat died because it had a heart congenital thing from birth, and the year that it had with her was the best year it had ever had. Wow. So it's these profound moments within it that I just,
that sounds really good.
So
I need to
much.
put that on my list.
It's nice. And then I listen to YouTube. We're Mind Valley members, so I'm doing a duality with Jeffrey Allen at the moment, which is all about using energy and how you use energy. So we've always got a few things
Something
on the go.
That's good. It's good.
I haven't been reading or listening to anything really, to be honest. Just these
You've had
last.
a lot on your
I
plate.
have,
Yeah,
and
you
I like to do a mixture of reading books like physical proper books, but I found I've actually just been too tired, so my eyes are too tired. But I like listening to I quite like having novels on audiobooks and just sort of listening to them as I'm going around, but I haven't been doing anything this week, so I'll just shut up.
Well, that was me a couple of months ago. I couldn't read at all, and I'm an avid reader. I use libraries because I like a physical book.
I like both.
Yeah.
I love a physical book.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have a physical book, but it's just not practical.
Yeah. You see, I have lots and lots and lots and lots and
Yeah.
lots of books.
Yeah,
And
so did I until we moved.
I only live up the road from the library as well, so I sometimes I tend to pop up there.
Yeah.
So, but I've got nothing really interesting to report on that front this month.
Okay.
What's your top win this week?
My top win is I joined the gym with my daughter.
Well done.
So last night I was doing weights, I was doing the running machine, I was
Nice.
doing the, what do you call it?
I don't know. Don't go to the gym.
I know. But for me, that was such a, I'd never do the gym. And my daughter knows I never. And she said, come on, Mum, we can do this together. Let's go and join a gym. And it was really good. I felt wonderful afterwards. It's like she said, I told you you'd feel better afterwards. I was like, I had more energy.
Yeah. It's
And I
amazing.
didn't realise. I went, where's this come from? And it was great. So we were there for about a good hour and a half last night. And I was really proud of myself that I pushed myself to go, and I went, yeah, okay, I'll come. I was like, oh, I'll just probably stand in the corner, like, watching everybody, But actually, I participated and I did okay.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, my son called me in the middle of it and said, "You're at the gym?" And I went, "Yes, I'm at the gym on a rowing machine." Because that's my ear,
It's nice when they're like that. Is it what you can move?
Yeah,
I didn't know you could move.
No, but that was my top win. I think you have to have those time out for yourself and your body and stuff. You've got to. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
What's your top win, Kathy?
It has to be the fact that we got our first paid member.
That's brilliant.
Well done.
We were so excited. I mean, probably inordinately excited, but
No, we were really excited because it took us
brilliant.
a year and a half to achieve it, and it's amazing. And we're so happy to be in a space where we can see we're getting new members. We've had more than that since.
Yes, we have. So another one just as we came in here. So
that's brilliant.
And I'm sure it will get. Well, I hope it's going to get to the point where they'll be coming in droves, and we won't be counting them anymore. But
but it really matters.
It is a real win.
When you get that first one, it's like that first paid subscriber.
Yeah.
It may not be much. It may be a few pounds. You're not going to be setting the world alight with it, but it doesn't matter because it's one. And if there's one, there's many.
Yeah.
There's more.
Yeah.
And actually, the first one was somebody we have no idea who it is or where they came from.
Better.
Which means that something is working in our marketing or whatever we're doing.
You're findable, and whatever it is, people are going, yes, please. I tell you what, that is a massive win.
That is a good win.
So
Absolutely.
that's huge for us this week.
That is a massive win. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
We're proud.
We are.
Amanda, I don't know if you can top that,
I
but
can't really.
is that it? Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's brilliant. That's a good win.
Mine was I got my mini back.
Oh,
I know.
she's back.
Yes.
Has she been away?
She has. She's not been very, very... I'm not sure that it's a she, actually.
Oh.
I think she might be confused. I'm not going down into that whole debate thing.
Okay.
But yes, I did actually put something out on Facebook, which was
I saw.
Yes, which was I was coming. I couldn't go and pick it up. I couldn't go and pick her up, and. Normally I wouldn't admit this sort of thing, but I sort of, I don't know, it's quite insane, but hey-ho. I couldn't go and pick her up, but I drove because I couldn't get down there whilst they were open until the Monday, but I went past and had to look through the gate.
Oh,
Give her a wave. I still love you.
There you are.
I'll be back.
I did really start to worry about myself at that point, but I got my mini back. Okay, so
I was going to say, can you imagine if someone's just clicking in now?
What on earth is she talking about?
Yes, I was waving at my mini through the yard gates. It's quite odd. You're not the only person that picked up on that, because I've never called anything of my bits like a mini. But yes, okay. Never mind. Okay, should we move on?
Yeah.
Right. What we're going to talk about, we're going to do some micro business news or a small business roundup. I have no idea what that means. Yeah, I wrote it there. Hopefully you've got some notes, dear. Have you got?
I do. I found this really fascinating, that 18% of small businesses don't have cash reserves.
Oh, that was it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And 48% of those are just earning up to 100,000 but don't have any cash reserves. So if anything was to go untowards, that actually I think is quite big, that, there's no cash reserves because you've got to think about VAT, tax, that sort of thing.
What do you think is Is there something that you can apply that says, OK, I've got these expenses? For me, turnover is meaningless because you can have £10 million worth of turnover and 14 million pounds worth of expenses.
Yeah.
But is there some sort of formula that says, right, well, OK, if you're turning this over, if these are your expenses, this should be your cash reserve?
Absolutely. I always say to clients, always put 20% by. Open a savings account for the business, or if you're a sole trader, open another business account, like a savings account, and put 20% behind, just for tax reserves or VAT reserves, those sort of things. Because at the end of the financial year, there might be money left over that you've paid your taxes and you've actually got a bonus there to take.
So you're not saying sort your taxes out, put your money for your taxes over there, your money for your VAT. I suppose it's the same thing really, and then you need some separate reserves here. You're just saying actually whatever comes in goes into that pot. 20% goes into that pot, and it just stays there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In theory, that's not that that sounds okay, doesn't it? It sounds easy to do, but it's not if your expenses are taking over. Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
So that's when cash flows come into effect. You need to do a cash flow and find out where you're losing money. It could be that the supplier you're using is much too expensive, and things that you might be subscribed to are too expensive and taking out.
Or you don't need them.
Exactly. Do you use them? Like maybe do just some housekeeping or clearing, or what do you do? Spring clean? Do something along those lines.
So, but basically you need to be in a situation where you can put 20% into a savings account or into an account somewhere away from your general expenses, and don't spend them.
Yeah, try not to.
I think you have to don't spend them.
Yeah.
Because I think if you get your head around that, and as a business, that's what it is. It's gone into that pot and it stays there.
Exactly.
It may be that you have creditors, is it creditors or people that need to wait?
Yeah.
But perhaps that's sort of how you should balance things. I'm not saying don't pay your bills. I'm saying if there's stuff that needs to be paid, you don't take it out your 20%.
Yeah.
You leave that there.
You could speak to your creditors and say to your creditors, look, can I pay you in instalments?
Yeah.
At the moment, cash flow, and they're more happy. They want to get something.
So that you just your response isn't automatically to go, well, there's some money in that pot, let me do that or buy that, because it could be that you're actually buying something that isn't a regular expense. It's not something that you need. It's just okay, I want one of those, I'll go out and I get one of those, and you're taking it out of your reserves to buy it when your reserves should be sacrosanct, shouldn't they? Exactly. And I also think this is going to sound a little bit woo-woo, so if you don't enter this, go away. But that if that money is untouchable, the money you need will come in.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We always say that.
Exactly.
Always. Yeah.
But if that money is, I'm going to try and keep it, I'm going to try not to go into it, then you'll spend it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You will spend it. Yeah.
Whenever you use that word try.
But you will spend it. And if it's lined in lead, you will get sent what you need.
Absolutely.
And it's not that money.
Exactly.
Yep, totally agree.
Yeah.
And for those of you who think I'm insane, well, never mind, eh? Guess you are not my client. Okay. You'll have to go off to the serious section. Okay. Have you got anything that you can add? When I say small business news, it doesn't have to be perhaps, it doesn't have to have been published in some serious magazine. It can just be your take on what's happening at the moment with small businesses and micro businesses.
I think we've probably been too insular for a while to be that. However, what I would say is that what's come up for me, and we've literally been head down for so long, but rekindling the FSB connection. So I had a meeting with Jane yesterday, and going, okay, right, we need to get out and do more networking, and we need to be out in the world, and we can't just sit on our bums indoors working on the business.
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
or in the business, we need to be working on it, and that means getting out and meeting people and doing this kind of thing, which actually we love to do.
Yep.
So I would say that's probably, you know, there are things out there that we can use in our businesses, and I'm a great advocate for the FSB. I think they're really good.
And so am I. I do a lot of work with the FSB. They support all of my events. I think I will always support them because of what they've bought for my business. And two people specifically, which is Tim and Jane. So Tim Aker and Jane Martin, who just connect me with people.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Jane's amazing connector.
They just connect
One of the most amazing people in that regard.
They send people to me.
Yeah. So the Federation of Small Businesses.
If you're in the UK, Federation of Small Business.
Yeah.
Little plug there, shamelessly.
Yeah.
Have you got anything, Amanda, that you or are you sort of head down and...
Well, we have been. I had a conversation with someone at the Women in Business Big Show. We were talking, I think, because Deborah Turner was talking about small business and how important we are as a collective, that we bring some, I don't know what it was, but it was a huge amount of money, and yet we are neglected by the government. And it's interesting how I didn't recognise that.
Yeah.
So it's always good to have somebody remind you of these things.
Yeah.
That we are important, and we actually are. There is a large amount of us that should have a say, but that don't have a say.
Absolutely.
And that is actually one of my reasons for running the Women in Business Big Show. There is a... snottiness is the wrong word, but the definition of a small business is turning over more than 250,000, I think, and that you have something like 10, you have less than 10 employees. Whereas I'm looking at people who are changing lives, who are making jewellery on the kitchen table, who may be bringing in £100 extra a month into their home, and that could be doubling their disposable income, which means they have twice as much money as they had before to go out into the community and spend money, and yet it's just not recognised. And what I wanted, and I'm talking about me again, aren't I? But what I wanted was for those people to actually be able to share, to be in the same space as bigger businesses, as local authorities, as people like the FSB, to actually, so that they know that they're making a contribution.
Yeah,
that they know that they have a right to go to business planning seminars, to things run by the council, to things that government are doing, because they're largely ignored.
Yeah.
Actually, they're just not on the horizon. When I've tried to involve people like that, I'm looked down my nose at sometimes. Oh, no, what are they going to do? Actually, a hell of a lot are they going to do, because there isn't one of them. There isn't one of them. There are millions. There are millions and millions and millions of people, a lot of them women, around the world, doing little bits of things, stuff, creativity, services,
absolutely,
unseen from their homes, making these small amounts of money that collectively are making massive differences to their own families and the communities around them.
And the economy.
And the economy, really just ignored.
Yeah. HMRC say there's 77% of small businesses in the UK.
Yeah.
That's quite a high amount.
It is.
I ought not to step on. I start, honestly. I start and I'm off. I'm off. Okay, very, very quickly. Advice for moving through into the rest of 2024. Just really quick advice. What's your take on it?
Spring clean your finances.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Kathy.
Can I just... I'm going to butt in.
Oh,
because when you said spring clean your finances, mine would be spring clean your mind.
Yes, okay. I like that. Now, you see, now she's she's gone out of turn.
Yeah.
Now what are you going?
So it's the rebel in me.
She's
Sorry,
feeling
it's the
better.
rebel.
Look, clearly feeling better. It's got difficult now. Kathy,
we have 7 principles that we talk about in conscious living, and the one that I'd like to just raise for this particular answer is no limits, no limitations. So to keep moving forward, knowing that actually, if you put your mind to it, you can do whatever you want.
Mine is get your finances in order. Just get your finances in order. Know what you need, know what you've got, know what you've done, and know what you need to do. Like proper numbers.
Yep.
Not overcomplicated. It doesn't have to be, you don't need millions of spreadsheets, but just know what the job is.
Yeah. KISS.
Yeah. I'll keep it simple, stupid.
Exactly.
Know where the job is. Right. Okay. Thank you so much, folks. I think I've really enjoyed that conversation. So thank you to Mikhail Yarniatab, my co-host. Thank you to Amanda Amoir and Kathy Heyman, conscious living coach. I can't see a thing. I can't see a thing. Brain's not working.
You've got it right, though.
Thank you so much for joining in our sort of business roundup for August. And we will be back very, very shortly with the Women in Business radio show.
Tune in next week to the Women in Business radio show for more stories, ideas, and inspiration to help you grow your business.